Do you think the casual gamers will have opportunity to actually thrive the way that they would like to play, and that's just generally very casual? Do you think there's gonna be that space for them in Web3 gaming?
We have a guy playing with us called Rusty. He said something about once you have a few hundred hours in the game, you're gonna start wanting skins. And yesterday I was browsing around on the market. You know, I was like, I'm gonna want to buy some skins. I was like checking the prices, everything. I mean, these are really cool. That's exactly how Web3 gaming is gonna be. You're gonna have your casual players that just because they really like the game. That's the big takeaway. Is the game needs to be good enough for people to want to play it casually in the first place. And then if they really enjoy it, they're gonna start wanting to be involved more deeply. You know.
It also depends on the type of game it is. If you look at the play-to-earn games now, the only thing that makes it fun is to go hardcore, right?
Like what it needs right now is that part. It needs casual gamers.
Welcome to the Get Decentralized Podcast. I'm joined by Decentralized Mars and Decentralized Jano. We are a Web3 gaming group bringing Web3 gaming adoption to you. Sit back, relax, let's have a conversation.
So it's not just like what I'm trying to say here. It's not just a fact of like Web2 gaming is going to become Web3 gaming just by allowing people to own their assets in the form of NFTs. And like, why would you want to own your asset in the form of an NFT in the first place? And the first thing comes to mind is like, because you can sell it for money and then you can buy something else in another game, which is something you can't really do right now.
Yeah.
Unless it's like in an enclosed system like Steam, Steam's marketplace. But no, it's just gonna give you like more opportunity to like really like play the market with like NFTs, you know.
Yeah.
But do you think everyone wants to do that though?
No, not everyone wants to do that.
But everyone, in a certain sense, wants to own something. You know, you want to own your asset. Like if you want to play, and this is where the casual gaming comes in. If you want to play and you buy a skin, you're anyways losing your money, or you're not losing it because you're getting the value out of you're running around in the game, and it's status. You know?
have this.
Yeah, it's good for you to have, and like even if someone watches your stream for a very long time, or it's like they're gonna want your first sub emote or the first badge or whatever it is, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna want to contribute because it shows status. It shows that hey, I've been here, you know, I've been here since season 1, and NFT gaming is just that step up. That even if the game dies, you know, even if the game isn't around anymore, you still have that in your wallet. You still have that NFT. So thinking back to like really OG games like what is it with a monkey barrel, what is
Donkey
it?
Kong.
Donkey Kong or whatever. Imagine you still own like
The console.
not the console but the actual skin you could buy, or the barrel with the.
I get what
gun
you're
on
saying,
it,
but that wasn't a possibility back then.
Yeah, it wasn't, but imagine, you know,
No.
like even now, let's say a hit game comes out this year, you know, and in 50 years from now, that game is like a nostalgic game, and you still own like a.
But it's almost like if you look at Fortnite, if you still have the OG season 1 skin
Yeah,
and you're playing with the people are like, whoa,
yeah.
Yeah.
playing
so
with the season 1 skin.
It's
I want that.
it's
I
kind of
can't
like
get it.
in-game status, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but imagine even going further than that.
Yeah.
Let's say some game really goes viral or really goes big, you know, and it changes the course of gaming history, let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And the game will eventually die off or whatever, you know, I'm talking about even maybe 20, 30 years. And then you have still that skin, and it's kind of like an antique.
Yeah.
So you own an actual asset that will appreciate in value all throughout. But it's difficult to find that game, you know.
It depends because how many people also have that asset. Like,
I like-
how many skins is there out there?
Well, 30 years later, you know, how many have been lost? How many of them, how
That's
many
true,
were playing
yeah.
season
Lost
1
their
of that
passwords
game?
or something.
Yeah, so probably very rare, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's an antique piece at that point, and it's kind of exciting to think about, you know,
Yeah.
the possibilities of this. So, yeah, okay, this brings me into my next topic. So, while NFT gaming can be a massive opportunity for game developers and players, there are a range of potential issues to be navigated, such as financial regulations. So, there's going to be financial regulations on
Of
these
course,
games,
yeah.
right? And at the moment, it's not regulated at all, but there's going to be problems, such as, let's say, a big debate on play-to-earn gaming right now is loot boxes. So now you buy a loot box for the possibility to get a skin or to get a gun or a weapon, you know, but as an NFT. And there's a possibility that that NFT can be worth a lot of money.
Mhm.
So what is this? Gambling, right?
Technically.
So,
Technically, but
so
that
this is a
doesn't
big
mean-
debate right
No,
now.
it's definitely gambling.
It's
I mean,
100%
the house is
gambling.
always going to win, you know.
You're buying loot boxes over and over.
They gotta make a
and over.
profit on those loot boxes, and I mean, if they're giving away something that costs $3,000 and you pay like $30 for it, someone else is gonna lose big time, you know.
Yeah, and this is a small thing about play to earn gaming that, to be honest, I haven't even.
But that's not even
that
just a
like-
play to earn gaming thing. That's like other games as well. Still,
Yeah,
you know?
that's
Yeah, but other games you can't sell those.
I have an example, dude. I spent like 200 of our currency, 200 rand, on like a few chests in CS:GO. I bought 5 of them. I bought the keys. I opened all of them, and got like, I think probably 40 rands worth of items. I sold all of them, bought another crate. I got like something, and then I sold those off. And at the end of the day, I was left with like 5 rand in my inventory. So it's gambling. It's definitely gambling, and you like always want to keep going because maybe the next time you
Maybe
win
the
big.
next
You
time
know?
you win big, and this is a big issue, especially with play to earn gaming now.
Yeah.
Because how do you guys think we're gonna go about it?
I know, but I know countries also like have a really have a lot of restrictions on it
Yeah,
when
but
it comes to
play
age.
to earn isn't restricted.
I know, but it
It's
might
not regulated at all, you know.
Yeah.
So right now this is a massive problem. And going back to the first point about financial regulations is, what do you guys feel about regulations?
Well, they'll have to. They might have to regulate it at that part because if you're under 18, you're not legally able to gamble. You know.
Yeah, but remember this a certain aspect of this. If this gets regulated, you know, it's not gonna be just the loot box part
Yeah.
that's getting regulated. It's gonna be a lot more than that. It's gonna be everything. So every
It's gonna
NFT
lose
you
the
buy, and-
decentralized aspect of it.
This is such a
if
complicated
it gets
topic, though.
regulated, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like regulation, because as soon as the governments and everything start sticking their fingers into regulating this stuff and taking their split, and that's kind of what it is, you know, regulation and consumer rights and everything like this is gonna kind of ruin it in a certain sense, you know. And this is a big issue, like in play to earn gaming at the moment, and that's why I want to kind of have a conversation about
But
it.
do you not think that that the way that it works at the moment with like all these existing forms of technically in-game gambling, that they might just use a similar form of regulation and they're already using for that, and like that isn't, those things aren't really problems at the moment. I guess they could be problems for the people that lose all the money, but like,
But what exactly?
I don't know,
do you
this
like?
is such a complicated topic, my brain is all over the place.
Like
I have nothing concrete to grab onto.
so
I don't know
here's
if
my
I don't know
thoughts.
if it will ruin like the whole experience, you know.
I don't think it necessarily will ruin the experience, but it is a difficult topic.
Yeah, here's my thoughts, right? So if you start regulating something, you're starting to, especially it's a fine line between over-regulating and killing it, you know. You could literally kill the industry by
Yeah.
over-regulating it.
Yeah.
It's a very fine line. I think regulation is good if it's done the right way, but in history,
Yeah, it's not going to be done the right
it's not going to be done the right
Mm.
way.
If they can make money by getting people to gamble with the loot boxes, they're going to do it.
Yeah, so this is what I'm thinking, right? I don't like regulation, personally.
Yeah.
Like, regulation shouldn't be a big part of this, I don't believe, you know. So a game, it's all going to be education, you know. Like, a game should be ethical. So first of all, they should be open and transparent about the odds of getting stuff in the loot boxes. It's gonna have to be age restricted somehow, you know. And this is actually quite strange because younger kids actually, I don't think, are that prone to start getting addicted to gambling as with an older person, which is kind of a little bit of a strange thing to think about, because older people are the gamblers, you know, not younger kids. But it's also because they
They
don't allow them.
They don't really know the satisfaction of money. You know?
Yeah, but they're not earning their own money either, you know.
Yeah, but that's
So I
why
think
they don't know the satisfaction. If you don't have the satisfaction of having money or the chance to get more money, like they don't know the worth of money.
yeah, but why not? Why not?
Because
Because
they don't make
they're protected against it.
Yeah.
You can't go into a casino when you're under 18. But you can go on a play to earn game and buy loot boxes and maybe make it big.
Like
you know?
people, a lot of kids do these online gambling things, you know.
Yeah. So
And like you actually have third-party sites that allow you to gamble with your skins, you know.
yeah.
Like actual gambling, not even just opening chests, like actual roulette and whatever it may be, you know.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about regulation and killing the thing that I was thinking about. So, regulation, I think, could kill it if it's over-regulated, but could also be a really good thing. If you find someone that has like some way of exploiting the system and making like big bucks, you know, and like ruining it for everyone else, obviously it's going to kill itself, you know. Like it's going to kill the that play to earn aspect of it. If some whales or something find a way to like exploit the system, and this is just general, I'm just talking about this in general, not like anything specific. But if there's regulations in place to a certain extent, then you have the developers that can fall back onto those regulations and fix the problem before it gets out of hand, you know.
Yeah, but
Like,
in a certain sense as well, like if some whale comes and exploits the system, whose fault is that? You know, it's actually the developer's fault.
yeah.
In the first place.
Yeah.
Like
But like they
fucked
can
up,
fall
you know?
back onto the regulation, fix the problem for the future, you know.
Or that company is gonna die. That
Yeah.
company is probably gonna, and that's why.
Let's be honest, like a lot of gaming companies die because of like
Yeah.
some kind of mistake they made somewhere along the line.
Yeah, and that's why I want to touch on why I don't want personally for it to get regulated. Like, it's going to ruin the experience in the sense that now you're earning a little bit of money and now you're getting taxed on it. So this puts such a strain on you, you know?
Yeah, but regulation doesn't necessarily mean like you know, governments need to be involved in it or anything. It could be lighter, you know. It doesn't necessarily have to be as hectic as taxes. I mean, you
But
obviously
that's not going to be
still
the
have to
case.
pay your
Where do you
taxes.
draw the line? That's the thing.
That's not going to be the case because if the governments get involved and the SEC or whatever, you know, if they get involved, they're gonna put in heavy regulations and restrictions and
If you're looking at the financial aspect, and that was what you were talking about.
yeah.
I've been more thinking about like more like the regulations that the developers themselves put into place, you know.
Yeah, but then it's not regulated. You know.
Yeah, but
that
then
is
in
what's called an
in that
ethical
case,
development.
I do agree with you in the sense that I don't want there to be too much regulation. I just want the company to make good rules and put them into place.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, where do you draw the line? What is it? What regulations like should you have, and what regulations should you not go over? Like, what regulations should not be too strict? Like, where do you draw the line? And that's the thing.
It's difficult because once this gets regulated, it's going to get regulated fully and hardly. You know.
Because
And,
there's no such thing as like to regulate it just only a bit, you know.
just only a bit. Only the places where you want it to be regulated. It's gonna.
It's
only the
either regulated or
yeah,
not.
regulated comes with that term comes with
I
experience.
like the idea of like decentralized finance in the sense that it's decentralized. It's not able to be like controlled centrally.
Yeah.
And I mean, the governments are trying their absolute best to control this shit. You know, they're like trying to make their own blockchains and currencies and stuff like that. And then it kind of defeats the purpose. But I don't know. We'll see. It's all like up in the air right now. We have to kind of wait around and see what's gonna happen. But like, yeah, like just talk about it and like speculate about what's gonna happen. You know.
Yeah. Like this is my take on it, right? So regulation shouldn't be there at all in the first place. Now, what's going to happen is a lot of craziness, you know, it's going to be complete open market.
Be quite chaotic, yeah.
It's going to be chaotic for a little while until the companies that really know what they're doing and really have their own regulations in place to protect the consumer.
Maybe
And these are the companies that are going to be successful, you know, because once we play a game and we see like something is dodgy here, like this game doesn't want us to make profit. You know? I'm not going to name names, but we've experienced a game like that where we would win a few games in a row and then all of a sudden we'd start losing, you know? Like we started getting quite good at this game and it's like they keep you.
It's like they're almost botting you.
Yeah, they're botting you. Like as soon as you're making too much profit,
Yeah. They keep you around anywhere from 45 to 65%
yeah.
win rate.
Like if you're good, you're gonna break even.
It's like the house always needs to win.
The house always needs to win. But if you're really good at the game, you're gonna break even. If you're bad at the game, you're gonna lose. You know? And these are the type of companies that are gonna fail.
Yeah.
People are
Inevitably.
gonna stop playing them. Like,
Like-
we stopped playing that game because we
Yeah.
didn't see a future for it because we just
It's
kept
just
on losing.
unethical, you
I
know.
think part of this topic, we're going to see a lot of companies make big mistakes that will cause them to die, mistakes that will kill them.
Yeah.
But we're also going to see a lot of companies learning from their mistakes and making really great success.
Maybe over a period
Lot
of
of hits,
time, it sorts itself out.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Without
in my
regulation.
opinion.
There's
Without
actually-
regulation, it will sort itself out because as the more people get educated, the more companies that do you in. Like, let's say if a company does you in, you're gonna go to someone else and tell them, no, don't play this game, don't invest in this game. It's a complete scam, and this hurts a company. And eventually, if it's true,
Yeah.
the
It's
company
gonna
will
kill it.
die.
Who's that guy that said just leave it alone and it will, they call it the invisible hand.
Yeah.
I think it's like in capitalism.
Yeah.
Like just leave the private companies
Leave it
alone.
alone.
Don't,
It will sort
don't
itself
let the
out.
government get
Yeah.
involved. Because as soon as they get involved, the whole system is not going to work.
Yeah.
So just leave it out. It might have a few fails on the way, but over time people will learn and
It's
it
like
will
the
sort
company
itself
needs
out.
to learn how to
Yeah.
walk,
It
basically.
also kills entrepreneurship, like
Yeah,
small
definitely,
entrepreneurs. Like over-regulating stuff kills small companies. It
We've
kills
seen that. We've
it
seen
kills
that.
people like us trying to
Actually,
make an ethical company, and it opens doors for massive capital to just
Yeah.
take over and monopolize the whole space. And that's what regulation does. And it's usually like, I know loan sharks back in the day were a big deal, like cash loans and things like this. It was a big deal until it started getting so regulated that only banks survived.
Yeah.
Loan sharks are still around, but it's not a good business anymore. Like the rent
people are
is
scared.
like, yeah.
I get you. But like, I'm of the same opinion. Like, regulation is a bad thing. What's that saying? Like, the rules are made for the people that make the rules. It makes
Yeah.
benefit the people that make the rules.
So I think regulation is a bad thing. And then I want to go into a different problem, and that's cyber attacks. Cyber attacks is going to be a serious issue as well.
We've seen some of that already.
We've seen some of that already, and I actually
It's only going to get worse.
Yeah. So the decline of crypto gaming, it was on an absolute, like, call it a
Rise.
bull run or
Yeah.
a trend, The actual killer of this trend, debatable, but was Axie Infinity got hacked out of like $60 million, 600 million or something crazy.
Gala also got it.
Gala got hacked as
Yeah.
well. And things just went like down for play-to-earn gaming, which is very natural because a new industry is going to have problems and people are going to be hyped about it, and then something's going to happen, like it's not going to be perfect from the start, but there's going to be people that hack and cyber attack, and a lot of people didn't even do nothing wrong, and because it's not regulated, you don't get like, a refund, nothing like this in an unregulated market either, and that's a problem as well. And that's where regulation is a good thing, but still I don't want it, but then if I get scammed out of
Yeah, but that's
my money.
like we made the distinction. That's a different kind of regulation.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity is such an important thing right now, and I feel like not enough people know how to do it. They really need experts, Not just people that know how to do it. They really need experts.
But this is Axie Infinity. They're the biggest, or they were the biggest crypto gaming company, if not still,
I think still, yeah.
Yeah, still. They were the biggest. Don't you think they had? Did you think they screwed up somewhere, or do you think they had?
They had to have screwed up somewhere. I think if anything happens, you have to take responsibility for it, because obviously somewhere along the line, some person, whether it be someone or like a group of people, made a massive mistake, and that's why something happened. It's always something that you're not thinking about in the moment, something that slips, and you realize it's too late. They had to have made a mistake, and then that's where they kind of like had to learn from the mistake and like strengthen whatever that was, so to make sure that nothing like that or similar to that happens ever again,
Yeah, but
So
it will happen.
It will happen, and
Will
it will
continue
only, it will
happening.
only like improve the way that people handle and approach cybersecurity and implement it.
Yeah.
That's why some of these things these days are so good. Is because so many mistakes have happened in the past. I'm not talking just about cybersecurity. Think about anything that is really developed and really like well put together. It's a bunch of mistakes that led to this, the culmination of something that is really effective, you know.
Yeah, but I'm talking like Capitec Bank the other day. So a lot of customers woke up to zero balance in their accounts.
That's scary.
Capitec Bank.
Imagine
I
waking
heard
up to
about
no
it.
money in your bank.
Yeah, it was a big deal, you know. And Capitec Bank, for all the viewers, is one of the biggest banks in South Africa where we are from. And they woke up to zero balance, and they're like, "What the hell?" You know? Because Capitec and like traditional funds regulated, they got their funds back.
Yeah.
So it's not a big issue.
Yeah.
But right here, it's gonna happen over and over again, and there's gonna
Like,
have to
with
be
decentralized finance, you're not gonna just be able to get your money back.
there's gonna have to
What's
be
that thing that, that
a
FTX did?
solution.
That they weren't supposed to do. Like the way
They didn't have
I'm
100%.
not finding the word for it now. Fractional reserve banking, you know.
Yeah, they were
Like
doing fractional
decentralized exchanges aren't doing that, you know.
Yeah,
It's not possible to just give you your money back, you know.
yeah. But, well, fractional reserve banking, they actually don't have 100% of the funds, you know. So it's tough because if a company doesn't have the money to give it to you back,
Yeah, but what I mean by that is like traditional bankings, they have like capital pools and stuff. They have the ability to like change things up and give it back. Like when on a crypto market or something, when it goes from one address to another address, the crypto market is gonna say, sorry, we can't do anything about that, you know.
yeah, it's not regulated because Capitec Bank has the government to fall back on.
Yeah.
The rules and all of these things, you know, they have like. If
In that
something
case,
goes wrong-
regulation is really good, you know,
In that case, regulation is a good thing.
because you can just get your money back.
But everything that comes with regulation is still, in the whole, bad. You've got good things, you've got pros and cons, but for me, the pros don't outweigh the cons.
That's what I
It's still
said.
worse.
Yeah. You can't, you know, where do you draw the line? I don't know. That's why I also agree. Regulation is a bad thing.